All right. Here I am, Jared from Crypto Plan, and I've had a request to update you all on Riot and Marathon Patent Group. So here I am. I'm on TradingView, and I'm going to run through the charts, and I'm going to kind of outline a few cases for the investor that has money already in Riot or MARA, and or maybe the investor that hasn't got in and is thinking about getting in, and just kind of to outline the future of what I believe is going to happen with Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group, and indeed Argo Blockchain, which is another one I'm invested in on the London Stock Exchange. So without further ado, and before further ado, if you could like and subscribe to the video, that would be so super amazing if you could do that. The support so far has been great. The channel is growing at a nice steady pace, and I'm getting some nice comments and some followers that are interested in new content, asking for this content, so I'm very happy at that. So let's have a look here at a Riot Blockchain. So I'm gonna look at the charts as well as look at their earnings, just to kind of get a feel for where they may be going. So if we look at their earnings was on the 9th of November, and TradingView tells me it was a negative 0.04 cents per share. So Riot Blockchain, Marathon Patent Group, they've both spent a lot of their capital over the last 6 months on purchasing more Bitcoin miners. So that's like buying more trucks and shovels and explosives in the mining industry so they can actually produce more of the digital gold, right? So whatever they're earning is a little bit less than what they're spending, right? But if they've stopped spending money on their operation, on building out their operation, then the chances are that the next year of earnings and potentially this next quarter are going to be profitable. And do you know what the market likes? Is a company that produces profit, right? So we've all speculated up until now that they're going to be a profitable company, but that next earnings report, which whereabouts is that? It's in 3 months' time from November the 9th, I imagine. That is going to tell a real story. So whether or not these investors were speculating into that, or whether in the future they'll speculate further on that, thinking that if they turn a profit next time, they're going to turn an even bigger profit the time after that. So let's just have a look at what what Riot Blockchain have done since they released their earnings. So this was still a negative earnings, but they made a lot of money still in that quarter, and they increased their profits. So they've done 208% at a maximum and closed kind of the period from earnings until now at 192%. So that is based on producing 730 new minted Bitcoins in the 9-month period ending September 30. So just before earnings, they'd minted 730 new mined Bitcoins. They've increased their working capital by about 4 times, so from 9.3 million to 39 million. So they're definitely increasing their revenues along with their spend. And then increased stockholder equity as well. So they've done about a 4x in their capital. But on the stock chart, it's reflected in a 2x on the stock chart. So what does that mean? I don't know. Just it's kind of growing very quickly on both accounts. The share price and their revenues are growing very quickly, which is a good thing to be in. And they're the sort of stocks we want to be in for growth plays, right? Let's move over to Marathon Patent Group. They had some earnings here, and what were their earnings? So minus 6 cents a share. And what have they done since we had earnings? If we closed there and we closed there, so they're 135% up. So they're not quite as much up as Riot Blockchain since their earnings, but there's still very decent growth there since earnings. So the market believes that whatever they told us in their earnings is real. And so on December 31, 2019, they had $1 million in cash and cash equivalents, or cash and cash equivalents or assets. And now they have 31 million. So they have astronomically increased their balance sheet compared to Riot Blockchain. So that's very impressive, and they have also been buying Bitcoin miners, so that's why they are still not profitable, because they're spending more than they're making. But there's some beautiful numbers here and beautiful growth percentage-wise there for Marathon. So it kind of tells me that the market hasn't caught up with Marathon Patent Group and the opportunity there as much as Riot Blockchain. So if I was to put money in, I would probably put it in to Marathon Patent Group. Now, I'm being honest and open, I'm not putting any more investment into Riot Blockchain or Marathon Patent Group, because I've built my positions way back when. But for those that haven't, I would probably be leaning towards Marathon Patent Group, especially because on the last day of trading it took an 8% dip, and who doesn't love buying the dips, right? So yeah, I really like seeing that on a balance sheet. What is that like? That's nearly 30x, 20x assets on the balance sheet there. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I guess if you look down here, total assets, they've grown it from 6 million to 37 million. So maybe it's a 5x there or something like that, which is, a little bit better than Riot Blockchain. So, there and abouts, maybe just kind of leaning towards Marathon Patent Group. And that's where I'm at. Now, let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart. So let's see what Bitcoin did since the Riot and Marathon earnings. So if we go to the 9th of November and we do a bit of a pull up there, so it's gone as high as 29%, but we've closed there 23% higher since the earnings. So when Bitcoin has a 25% increase, Riot Blockchain has a 200% increase, and Marathon Patent Group has had a 130% increase. So let's say, let's say that in the next three, or by the time the next earnings come out by the time the next earnings come out, we are up at somewhere around that 25,000 mark for Bitcoin. Let's delete that out there. Let's do another kind of estimation of what's going on there, and let's say we're at 25,000. So that's a 66% increase. So kind of from 23 to 66. So that's 2 and a bit more time. So we could imagine that then Riot Blockchain, when Bitcoin hits somewhere around the 25,000 mark, if the same kind of correlation occurs, that Riot Blockchain maybe kind of towards the let's have a look here, towards the maybe the not the 600%. Let's go conservatively at the 550% mark. So, and that gets me to one of my kind of sell targets of $23.04 or $23. And if we look backwards, that's kind of near the top of the bubble from the last bull market, right? And I think that's the 702 Fibonacci retracement level from the entire bear market. So once we hit this $23 mark, I think that's where we might see a little bit of sideways consolidation, or we're just going to shoot on straight through. But that's probably my first take profit point. So looking at it today, it's $10 flat. If you were to put $10,000 in today and ride it to $23, you are doubling and a bit your money, right? So that's the kind of, I guess, the conservative investor approach, as in, if you kind of nearly, and I can't say any guarantees, not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but from price history heading into the next bull run, can't guarantee a time frame of when it happens, but let's say when Bitcoin hits about 25,000, we're going to be looking at Riot Blockchain to be around a $23 share from a $10 share. So market open on Mondays, let it do its thing for the first 15 minutes. If it has a good dip, maybe it's a good time to buy. Going Going back to Marathon Patent Group, let's do the same thing again. And we will drag it up. So let's do 300. We'll do kind of a, let's say if it's a 450% gain when Bitcoin gets to 25,000, and this is really conservative. And once again, it is slightly beyond the 702 retracement level from the bear market from 2017 all the way down here, and that would be the 702 retracement level. So I believe that, and from what I've seen, Marathon Patent Group seems to shoot up in larger jumps on some of the bigger candles. So we could see it kind of really testing these levels up here of the $20 mark, but conservatively, where could you get in today? You could get in at 540, and you could kind of fairly safely double your money to the 1250 mark there. So these are the kind of shorter safe plays. Now, if you're more risk averse, then obviously you've got that potential that we break all-time highs or the highs from the last bull run, because that's what Bitcoin is doing. It's breaking its high from its last bull run. So let's assume right now that they do break these bull runs. So then we've got some bigger targets up here of extensions of the Fibonacci, so that we're just beyond the full extension of the Fibonacci retracement of this entire bull market. Marathon Patent Group has a potential of going to $100 in the next kind of bull market, bull run, whatever you want to call it. And finally, Riot Blockchain has a potential to go to and beyond $160 there. So these are the Fibonacci extensions. If you don't know what Fibonacci extensions is, you can Google it. But basically, it's a tool that says if we look at this move here all the way down and then back up, that it potentially will extend to kind of psychological or predetermined levels based on, you know, the mathematician that created that tool. And a lot of traders use it, but that's the one. But anyway, that's kind of the long and the short of it. I guess for anyone else in the crypto space, let's quickly have a look at XRP, because I think XRP is super bullish at the moment, and I really feel like within 2 to 3 days, max 5, it's going to break out of this range that it's been stuck in here. That's just my prediction. There's no real science behind that, but I just feel like it's really tightening into this range, and it's testing on the upside more than on the downside, because it immediately kind of pulled back to its full extension on retracement early on after its jump up. So that's a cool one to watch. Stellar, again, maybe kind of going to play out a little bit longer, but the next move is going to be super explosive. Cardano, I think, tightening into a nice wedge there. Could see that in the next week pop out. VeChain is aggressively on an uptrend, but still in a range, you know, and I think some people are saying as long as it closes the week, so as in this evening, Sunday, it closes the week above 1.7 cents US, then we're looking super bullish. But this would be my target up here, the just under $2, just under 2 cents for VET to really confirm that it's kind of breaking out. Basic attention token, yeah, not so super keen that that's ready to break out. It's very volatile to the upside and low side since it broke out here. We'll see what happens, but it definitely is flagging towards a tight little range there. Dash, super keen on this. I haven't done much research, but I do understand that it has a very limited supply of coins, so there is the potential that this squeezes into a really strong bubble at some point. So I'm a little bit into that. And then Zilkila. and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong and murdering the name, but yeah, I like this because not only is it kind of having these big volatile breakout days, but there's this solid uptrend here, which I just love. Since the 4th of November, we're just kind of steadily following this line. And I love that because it's not kind of doing the exact same thing as all the other cryptos. It's just accumulating upwards, and I like that. It's something different to look at. But yeah, so I guess the long and the short of it, the update on Riot is that yes, I think it's not going to take long for it to go from $10 to $20 and beyond, which is a good thing. So, and like I say, this move through here and all this consolidation takes a long time, and then it pops out, and then once you get out of these volume resistance level where people had bought and sold in the previous bull market and they're kind of taking profits and getting out, and there's a kind of clean range, you can see it pop 50, 100% in a day, and it could be at $20 by the end of the week for all we know, or it could kind of go sideways if Bitcoin goes sideways. Who knows? But let's just go back to this report. So if they produce another 730 newly minted Bitcoins in the next 9 months, so 730 times by, let's say, an average price of 22,000, in the next 9 months. That's another 16 million in profits, right? So that's pretty cool, that's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure that number's going to go up because they moved factory during COVID and there was delays and blah, blah, blah. So, let's kind of then go the upper end of it and go that they're going to do 1,000 Bitcoins in the next 9 months, and times that by an average price of 22,000. $22 million in the next 9 months. And I think, from what I understand, they've purchased outright all of their equipment. So they're probably going to have paid it off already, and then they're just all in profit-taking zone. So that's pretty cool for these sort of companies. And a similar story over here. They bought a lot more new machines, and you can see that their growth in revenues and assets is huge. Their liabilities are very low. Debt to liability, asset to liability ratios are definitely very low, and so that's super bullish on the two stocks. Like I say, not buying any more, but if you do want to buy them, you can see that a 2x is very simple, and maybe a 5x is definitely still in there towards all-time highs. And then we've got that potential of the super risk-averse investor that's willing to hold out for those fib extension levels well beyond the last all-time highs. So, I think, like I say, I'll take some profits towards the all-time highs from last time, and then I'll ride the rest to as high as possible and see what the market does, because this is the boom industry, right? Cryptocurrency. So that's it for now. If you watched to the end, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share with your friends and family if they're not sure about it and they want to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, just explain it to them that they're just like mining real gold out of the ground, except the shovels and trucks are computers, and that's about it. And that the market isn't actually carrying physical gold to bank vaults, it's just selling it on exchanges around the world. So super simple business model. Mint Bitcoin, sell them, keep them, wait till they go up, increase your balance sheet, buy more miners. It's simple, right? Get cheaper electricity, fixed cost, increasing returns depending on the Bitcoin price, especially going to go up over the next 4 years. So that's a great thing to know. Anyway, I'm signing out. See you later. Bye.